Merry meet and fare thee well. Settle in for a story with me, Astin Gaël. Thank you for being here today. It is February the 24th, Tuesday. By the time you are seeing this, I am either already in Albuquerque and currently navigating the treacherous aisles of Costco, or I'm on my way back. And at the very least, I have a belly full of Mediterranean food. I am filming this on Monday, February 23rd. If you are not yet following the magic shop on BlueSky, the link is in the description box down below. Over there, you will find daily astrological posts, as well as whatever songs make their way through my headspace randomly throughout the week. Sometimes you might even see a picture of my cat. He might make an appearance over here. We're basking in the sun together today. All right. Also, if you would like to purchase a short story of your own, the link to the Buy Me a Coffee is in the description box down below. Alternatively, there is a blog post every 4 to 5 days over there, absolutely for free. But if you gain anything from them, you can always buy me a coffee to say, hey, you write really good. We are reading an excerpt a day from this book. Speaking of writing really good, Rachel Snyder does a great job of simplifying in about 5 sentences an aspect of healthy masculinity. It's a big tenet on all of my social media platforms, so it was important to me to get this book out and work my way through it. Today we are focusing on one of my favorite subjects, songs, or singing in general. I love a man who can sing. And by that I mean I kind of love me. Since going on testosterone, I am weeks away from my 3-year anniversary. I have been able to sing bass like my granddaddy, and I couldn't be happier. I'm fucking thrilled. Songs. His national anthem, The Yellow Rose of Texas. The lullaby his Nana sang while she rocked him gently to sleep. Semper Fidelis. Amazing Grace. Take this job and shove it. The songs they played the summer he lost his virginity. The Christmas carols that blared incessantly in the department store where he worked to earn a bit of extra cash. The song his children say he always sang, but he can't remember the tune. Songs from boot camp and church camp and Boy Scout camp and the camp for boys who just kept screwing up. The solo he sang on stage in the 7th grade just before his voice changed. Body, Rockwist, barroom songs, and 99 bottles of beer on the wall sung in the back of the bus. Crying country songs about love gone bad and life gone sour, and how good men always get left behind. Gospel songs and unchained melodies, and the last booming bars of the Hallelujah chorus. Lyrics he'll never get out of his head. These songs live on in his heart. What's your favorite song? Really hard for me to narrow that down as a system of 12 plus. But currently I would say that our favorite playlist is either our Valhalla playlist, which features a lot of like pirate sea shanties and Viking music, or our basically our ritual playlist, which features a lot of Eminem, but also Johnny Cash, and also like really old I don't know, like 50s and 60s, kind of like borderline resistance songs. It's a great playlist, all in all. But I can't narrow down a song. If you can, drop yours in the comments. I'd love to listen to new music. Let's pull from the deck of chaos first. We're pulling on songs. Well, I guess I should have pulled from the deck of plenty, right? It's the one that has lyrics, song lyrics. Hey, Z. This is Xander. That's my cat. Well, that's my partner's cat, but, you know, he calls me Dad, too. He will be 26 if he makes it to his birthday in May. And he has been with my partner since he was this small, small enough to hold in your hand. I calculated just recently, and if he makes it to his birthday in May, which is just before our anniversary, he's actually the longest pet I've been able to be around. I have never had a pet for longer than a couple of years, so he's very important to me. All right, songs. All right, we've got a King of Pentacles, and speaking of those sea shanties I like so much, we've got the Ocean with the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so I mean, right off the bat, I'm kind of getting the vibe of like a King of Pentacles, either funding a musician that is working on their craft, or, you know, a King of Pentacles is a musician that is working on their craft and, you know, working towards music being their main source of income, the reason that they are a King of Pentacles. Best case scenario, about a year and a year and a quarter, a year and 3 months, you know, is kind of the trajectory, the timeline that this person is hoping to achieve this goal. It's a very doable goal. I'm not a musician, so I say that, and I literally have no idea what I'm talking about, but I could see, you know, starting to at least make money from your art, from your music, within a year and a quarter. All right, yeah, let's go to the deck of plenty and see if we've got any. I kind of want to get like a feel for the type of songs. All right, so there's a potential of these being songs for healing, whether that be, you know, just rage, screamo, you know, to the point where it's like we're not even for sure what this person is saying, but man, what a catharsis, what a release. Could also be, you know, folk music with lyrics so strong that, you know, that is the healing. The words are the healing. All right, so we've also got a little bit of a little bit of a love song vibe, a little bit of a divine union type vibe. So healing of the heart. Yeah, you know, not necessarily the broken heart songs, but the I'm overcoming a broken heart song. This recent Saturn-Neptune conjunction that we had this last week, big energy. Uh, I mean, swept through and caused up a storm, quite literally. You know, the weather has been quite wonky. It is calling for protection of our projects, very specifically creative projects. So, to this musician, um, I'm almost kind of getting the idea of like weaving in spells into uh, your songs, making sure that the songs that you are putting out are essentially um, full of protection spell work. You know, you are weaving in um, word magic and in the harmony there are undertones of protection. Um, but also, you know, protect your copyrights as well. If you are trying to make money off of your music, you know, you want to make sure that you're not just putting it out there for free. Um, and make sure that it's not getting leaked. All right. Um, any other characters that play in this story? Yeah, okay, so there is a drama queen in the reverse. In the Rider Waite deck, this is the magician. Somebody who is very mercurial. Um, okay, there's untapped potential here. I'm not getting the energy of another character. This particular King of Pentacles. In this pursuit towards the Eight of Pentacles that you're at right now, you're not making those last two steps towards a Ten of Pentacles because there's something that's untapped. There is some sort of potential, maybe in your lyrics, maybe in your vocals, that you're just not tapping into. And I get that it's maybe if it is in the lyrics, it is that the subject matter seems a little too shadowy, shadow based, dark. I want to say that there's like this idea that because we're currently experiencing so much darkness in the world, that there's more of a call for love and light. But I almost think that, like, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, that historically it was in our darkest hours as a people, as consumers of the arts. It is in our darkest hours that we consume some of the darkest subject matters as it pertains to art. You know, I keep getting images of paintings coming through, but uh, this applies to all type of art. You know, yeah, while some people might feel as if the love and light is more beneficial, um, and while focusing on the dark sides of life for too long can get painful for the artist even, you know. So I can understand wanting to not dwell there, but if it's there, if it's at the tip of your tongue, then just say it. I'm feeling called to mention a thing that a writer friend of mine said yesterday during our little monthly writers meetup. They were saying that they are challenging themselves to kind of just free write first thing in the morning. And a lot of it is coming out in just fragments, and that in and of itself seems concerning. When you're a writer, you're not really wanting to write in fragments, but you know, when they go back um, in the afternoon or several days later, they're able to be like, yeah. I knew where I was going with that, and then they can expand on it in their waking hours. But they were saying that the subject matter does seem to be very kind of almost survivalist, kind of almost like where you would be when you're in an existential crisis, so to speak. Um, and I think that in and of itself kind of makes us like maybe feel a little juvenile, maybe feel a little, you know, uh, yeah, like like an emo boy, kind of, kind of like what I'm looking like today. I'm feeling very emo boy today. I think there's some validity to that. I think quite often, especially with creatives, our most creative ideas lie with our inner teenager. Um, and an unhealed inner teen is absolutely gonna give you nothing but uh I don't want to call it drivel because it can be so many important things to say for an unhealed inner teen. You know, it feels very important. But it can be very relatable to other people. There's actually a lot more people out there that are mentally regressed in a teen to early 20s age range, more people than you would think, and not necessarily all diagnosed with a mental illness. Maybe they should be, but not necessarily. um and you know, this song, this lyric could be what helps them to snap out of it, what helps them to wake up to the fact that their inner teen is wounded and is looking for some sort of an outlet. Yeah, okay, so we have the death coming out sideways. It's almost like this is a moment right before the turning of the wheel, right before you realize that in order to have that phoenix moment, that rising out of the ashes, that song that hits the top 20, you know, you might need to put out some duds, you might need to put out some things that um you know, uh, die, so to speak, and might be a death, an ego death of your own. um I want to say that if you've never run your birth chart, I will have that available as a purchase at the coffee shop soon. um, but if you've never run your birth chart and actually figured out which signs are in which house, your 12th house is really important for you to look at. Okay, yeah. So my 12th house is in Aries. I do not have any placements in my 12th house, but the 12th house has to do with secrets, very specifically getting like family secrets. So this particular song could be kind of exposing, kind of calling out some people from your past. um, it's also about fallen angels. Um, you know, Lucifer is a part of my pantheon, and I have not written anything about my work with Lucifer or really my studies of, but I do have a plan to do that this year. And I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit nervous to put out a work of art that basically may or may not get misconstrued as me claiming Satanism, which I'm not sure why that makes me nervous, because it's really akin to just logical, critical thinking. Most Satanists are actually just atheists, but they use the word Satanists for shock and awe value. And now we're circling back to the very beginning where I said, I think this may just be a Screamo song. And like, I necessarily do not listen to Screamo music, but some of those songs on my Valhalla playlist teeter that line. And the parts of me that lie dormant, that, you know, very much need to heal from some trauma, feel kind of triggered by that when those songs come on. You know, we definitely start to panic that, you know, God is gonna rain down on us with his wrath, because we're just committing sin. But yeah, you you can and you will overcome your religious trauma. I'm gonna call it on the stories, but on the subject of religious trauma, I would like to invite you every Monday night. Recovering from Religion does what they call RFRX talks. They begin at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They go for an hour with the presentation. There is a different presenter each week. And at the end of the presentation, they turn off the recording devices and everybody is welcome to hang out in the Zoom. And we discuss topics of deconstruction, deprogramming from religion. Does not matter where you are at on your deconstruction journey. All are welcome. You do not have to identify as an atheist. A lot of the people that do the presentations identify as atheists, but again, not all of them. And you are welcome to be whoever you are. Just if you have religious trauma that you are trying to overcome, this group is really great, and I highly recommend joining us. Until next time, be well, be you.